What is today?
Do-do-bop-doo-ba-doo.
Shabooba?
You want to try this one again?
No, I'm just gonna keep blabbing, and sooner or later something's gonna catch.
Welcome to the show.
The inspired episode.
Yes, this is the Maxx is Super Awesome Comic Review Show.
Comic Review Show.
Comic Review Show. Welcome to this week's episode of the Maxx is Super Awesome Comic Review Show. I am the Super Awesome Max. You are the Super Awesome audience, and with me is a super awesome, if not condescending, voice. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. And as always, a super awesome catfish behind the camera there. There we go. Well, we have...
He's a perky fish.
We have some really awesome comics. We have some really awesome comics to talk to you about this week.
Almost too awesome.
Almost too awesome.
We almost had to cancel the show.
Shut the whole thing down.
Which is why we're not filming in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah, no, because their eyeballs
It shocked
literally...
him.
And why there's
like,
no cake.
I was the only fish that came out
there's
conscious.
I thought there was cake still.
There's
I thought we
cake?
just threw them out so that I could have the cake.
No,
I didn't
the
get any
monsoon
cake.
happened, so the washed away the cake.
Lap and Bob, I'm not going to cut this out.
Portal.
This is for you to understand all the stuff I have to cut out.
Portal.
Cake,
That was a Portal
portals,
reference?
fish.
I lost the cake in a portal?
Did we
Yeah.
talk about
Or I just
dynamite?
didn't fucking
Oh,
Lap
man,
and Bob,
speaking
we're
of
still
portals,
going.
Every book this week had portals to other dimensions in
Portals!
it. It was
See how good the
insane.
Max is?
And it was all fitting because it all leads to our number one book, which is all about other dimensions. So hey,
Well, way to give it away!
they don't know what it is yet.
Yes, they
Everybody
do.
knows
Everybody
what it
knows.
Could be Slumberland.
No, what's number one?
We'll get to that.
It's Finding
Nemo!
Nemo!
First,
Oh,
let's
noodles.
start
Noodles.
with some noodles. Yeah, I have two from
Do you want
DC.
both of them at the
yeah,
same
yeah,
time?
we'll
Because
do.
they're DC.
First off, I want to talk about Future's End because I read this issue and it was probably my favorite one that I've read so far.
Oh, man.
Except for maybe the one where the Joker and Batman get spliced together. That was pretty cool. But we finally get to learn, 5 years in the future, what is setting all of Future's End up, what villain it is, who's behind the scenes kind of thing. But I think he himself is still just a pawn. And it's a pretty, it's the villain that you would kind of expect it to be. But it was still really cool, and the way they found it was really cool. And then the artwork for it was pretty nice as well. And I think that a lot of these writers are finally starting to hit their stride. This point in the book, enough of the groundwork's been laid and developed that they can just, the story was moving really fast. And there weren't any of those pages where I was like, I'm confused and lost and now slightly bored. So that was my, nope, you're okay. You can go back to doing whatever you're doing over there. I got one more book to talk about. Next up on the notables, and if this was a smaller week for books, this definitely would have made it into my top 5 because this was really fantastic. But it's Batman and Robin, issue number 34, Robin Rises Part 2. It starts off with Batman, right where we left off, Batman and all of the Bat family members in the Batcave. They talk a little bit about what happened during Death of the Family, and then they talk about what Batman has planned for the future, including bringing Damian back from Apocalypse. There's some great dialogue with Jason Todd and Tim Drake and Barbara Gordon, and then there's a fourth one of those that shows up there at the end. So it was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot, and then we get to see a little bit more Lex Luthor, Bruce Wayne, snappy repartee, and that's always a good time.
What time is it? Speaking of time, what time is it?
It's time for Turtles Watch!
Turtle Watch!
Turtle Watch!
Is it like Baywatch?
I wish it was like Baywatch.
Pam Anderson involved?
That was a
Hobie?
cornerstone of my childhood is what that was. No, what we have here is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014 annual, illustrated by Kevin Eastman, scripted by Kevin Eastman, story by Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz. So this does fall in continuity with the ongoing Turtles series. This is kind of what's going on with the Turtles while Shredder and Krang are having their little powwow in the last issue. This explains why the Turtles are not aware of it. So they get launched into space through a portal.
Portal.
Shocker. Oh, and there's a portal in Batman and Robin too, because it's Boom Tube.
Ninja portals.
And yeah, they fight some Triceratons. They fight a Conan-looking guy. It was a good time. It was a really, really good issue. And anytime you get Kevin Eastman doing an entire issue of a comic book, especially Ninja Turtles, awesome. So it didn't make it into the top 5. It got its own special segment because, like I said, the top 5 is very crowded this week. So
With 5 comics.
let us begin and not get bogged down in the details. We can't make it. I mean, it can't be the top 5 crowded with 8 comics.
You've done it before.
I have. And I will do it again.
No. You
I
picked
will.
5. You narrowed it down.
Number 1, Doodle Jump. Going back to that. I almost ordered you the complete Doodle Jump on. Oh, man. Sometimes you gotta make yourself laugh.
The
So-
hate that courses through my veins.
I know, it's
for you.
warming
Number
my soul right now.
5.
It's warming my soul. Catfish.
Number 5!
Catfish
Catfish
wants
wants
it.
to move it along.
He does. He does.
Says the nose picking.
Allergies.
Yeah.
I'll flick a booger at you. I'll flick.
You don't want to play these
You guys
games.
done? Can we
I'm
do
not
that?
above the flick.
Number 5!
Number
Coming in at
5.
number 5, it is issue number 122 of B.P.R.D. Hell on Earth. No, I'm not recommending that you go back and read all 122 issues. Just joking, I am. It's been a fantastic comic. But if you will draw your attention to this green bar that runs across the top of the comic, you will see starting point for new readers. I love how they're just spelling it out these days. It's just like, buy this one, because you'll understand it. But it is a new story arc
Portal.
for B.P.R.D. There is a portal that is referenced a couple times in it, and you see it a
The
couple of
portal is the
times.
whole story.
Okay, yeah, it's not referenced. It is the
We
entire
won't
story.
talk about what the portal is.
But it's really cool. The B.P.R.D.
Portal-centric.
They're a bureau that they investigate and deal with strange and abnormal things that should not be on Earth. If you're familiar with Hellboy at all, you're gonna be familiar with the B.P.R.D.
Number 4!
Wow, you just cut me off on that one.
You were done.
B.P.R.D. gets no
You
more
were
time.
done.
All right, wow. Dark Horse has 2 books in the top 5 this week because this week we also have Dark Horse Presents issue number 1. Just joking. This is not issue number 1. Dark Horse Presents has been around since 1986. Yes, I read the introduction to the comic.
It's older than I
It
am.
was- Yeah, me too.
You too.
Not me.
Yeah.
Baby.
What?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hey, Catfish, you old.
Believe it.
Catfish.
I'm gonna start calling you Tortoise.
I'm a
Geriatric
monster.
fish.
Monster catfish.
Um,
Catfish hunter. That's
so
for you, Dave.
not that Catfish's
Noodling.
chronology isn't of vast interest to me, but let's bring it back over here because it's Eisner Award winning.
Is it
No,
even that
this was
hard?
really cool. So it's number 1 because it's a new format. It's still 56 pages. It is no longer $8. It is now $5, and it's still packed full of awesome comics. First part of this book, Big Guy and Rusty, bringing Frank Miller back to the Dark Horse world. Very cool. It was a wonderful comic. I mean, just look at
Amazing.
look at some of these pages.
Get out.
They're great. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Worth it.
And it was worth it just alone for that first story. But then we get some Kabuki in there later on, and then we get a couple of stories from the back that I'm not familiar with, but I really enjoyed reading them. Oh, Resident Alien also
Bukkake?
makes a
Bukkake. Dark Horse. I like
No.
your style. This got weird.
perhaps my favorite story. It's about to get weirder. Perhaps my favorite story in this book was Saber-Tooth Swordsman, which was awesome. And it says
Oh,
here.
is a story in there?
Yeah, it's like the
Oh, I didn't
previous.
read the whole
look,
thing.
look at this maze.
That is
There's
amazing.
Joseph running through.
That's
It's awesome.
amazing!
Oh,
funny.
when his village is enslaved and his wife kidnapped by the malevolent mastodon mathematician, a simple farmer must find his inner warrior.
A nipple farmer?
Simple.
Simple.
Simple!
The earwax out of your
You
ears,
simple
catfish.
Oh, you don't even know.
Catfish don't even have ears. Coming in at number 3 from IDW, it is Little Nemo, Return to Slumberland. Apparently,
He returns to Slumberland.
well, this was an early 20th century comic strip. Apparently, then it was a movie.
Yeah.
And now it is back with IDW. And basically, it's the story of the Slumberland Kingdom.
A little fish
where
who runs
there's a
away.
king
No!
and-
No!
We gotta show some art for this book. We have to. You're right. What was I thinking?
my gosh.
So in this kingdom, though, there's a princess, and she's very bored, and they spend a lot of time trying to figure out who the princess's next playmate's going to be. I have a feeling because it's kind of like a lifelong contractual commitment. Hey, can we not get distracted over here by his ball scratching? I mean, obviously, it was extremely blatant. Obviously, we're not going to be shaking hands at the end of this episode. I kind of never want to touch your camera again. However, back to this. So they finally settle on this boy Nemo, and so the beginning of the book, they're trying to bring Nemo to Slumberland, and then
You need to wake up, Catfish.
then you
Get
get-
out of Slumberland.
And you get
Oh,
some
hold
of
on,
this
hold
going
that,
on.
hold that, hold that,
Yeah,
hold
I know,
that.
because this is sick.
Give me a
This
second.
is the reason why it's number 3.
Someone crying. Crying on the street.
Someone's crying because they can't read Slumberland until tomorrow. So that was Slumberland. Hugely entertaining, vastly fun. It just made you feel warm. But then there's also like this really dark shadow that hangs over the whole time. Because
Like
you're
Bukkake?
like, this can't end. Can we get
The
off?
dark shadow of Bukkake.
Fade out. Awesome!
Yes, coming in at
Number
number 2. And this one made a real strong push for number 1. I was tempted. I was very
No,
tempting.
you weren't.
I wasn't.
No.
At all. It wasn't even close.
Uh-uh.
However,
It was close enough to be 2, but not even close enough to be
it
number
beat out
1.
Slumberland by a landslide, but no number 1. It is Ed Brubaker's new crime noir set in the late
Hollywoodland?
1940s Hollywoodland. Your classic actress turned dead by homicide story, and the story of the writer who kind of is
The hero.
maybe
The reluctant hero.
maybe he's going to be a hero. We'll see. The end of this issue makes it look like he's going to be the hero. But hold that thought right there, because the real reason we got to talk about this, the real reason, not even close. Issue 1 has a special
That's all I care about.
magazine-sized format, and this one also has 8 extra pages of bonus materials.
Oh, dang.
Oh, dang, indeed, from the OVC.
Oh, dang.
Anyway, or is it the OCD? I can never remember.
It's both.
It's both. I don't know what you sign your little
Both.
YouTube comments as. I see what
You
you're
don't
doing
even
over there.
read them!
You don't even watch the show.
I do both of those things.
No, you
Yep.
don't.
Not
You don't
on
even
any-
read the books.
On a regular sort of basis.
No, he reads the books, Joe.
I know you do a good job.
Thanks.
I know somebody's watching it, or Bleeding Cool still wouldn't be putting it up. So,
Coming in at number 1. Highly anticipated. Build
although
it up!
I do wonder if the editors of Bleeding Cool watch this, because some of the content we get away with.
Woo! Build it up. Build it up.
All right, so we've been waiting 10 years for this book to be told.
20?
I don't know about 20.
I think this said 20.
I think it's a 10. But we'll go with 20 because it's a bigger number. A book so epic, it took 20 years for us to figure out how to tell it, because we had to wait for the man to write it to be born, and then to sober up, and then to stop tripping on peyote so that he could actually sit down and write it. It is Multiversity
Multiversity!
issue number 1. It is finally here. It is a tour through the DC Multiverse, as brought to you by Grant Morrison. And I'm just going to tell you right now, my brain kind of overloaded reading this issue.
Overloaded with awesome.
Yeah, definitely with awesome. Captain Carrot, fantastic. It blows my mind just how, after so many comics that Grant Morrison has written, it seems like every time he puts something new out, the creativity goes to a whole new level. Like, I don't know where he came up with these ideas. I don't know. I mean, I'm imagining that there was definitely some illicit drug use in there, but
Really?
it was incredible. I mean, this is probably the best DC book that I have read in 6 or 7 years now. I am so excited to see where this book ends. It's going to be told in 2 ways. There's Multiversity 1 and Multiversity 2 that bookend the whole thing. Multiversity 1 sets up the larger story arc, which don't get frustrated if you don't entirely understand. There's a ton of Easter eggs that Grant Morrison has been writing in all of his previous books for this. As all Grant Morrison books do, eventually everything will come into focus, and you'll see the Mona Lisa, and then you'll go blind because it was just that awesome. Now, and then there's going to be 6 filler issues. So, and we're going to be bouncing around all 52 universes of the DC Multiverse. We're going to get a broad look at everything that's been going on, all the little itty-bitty nooks and crannies in between it. It was so much fun. I can't wait for the next one. I wish that tomorrow was a month from now, and I would be standing here reviewing issue number 2. Yeah, so that's going to do it for our top 5. And stay tuned after the cutaway for some graphic novels.
Word.
Bloop.
Welcome back from that cutaway. It was super groovy. I hope that during that cutaway you ran down to your comic book shop and bought Multiversity and then read it, because it's going to blow your mind. First up on my list of graphic novels, it was kind of weird how this week worked out, because I didn't read anything from Marvel, and then all the graphic novels I want to talk about are Marvel, mostly. So we're going to jump right in with that. There's 3 Marvel graphic novels of great importance to me that came out this week. The first one being Punisher, Volume 1, Black and White. It's the first 6 issues of Nathan Edmondson's run on the Punisher. It's been groundbreaking. It's been phenomenal. One of my all-time favorite Punisher books. I haven't liked the Punisher so much since the early days of Garth Ennis writing it. Next up on our list, it is The Winter Soldier, The Bitter March. It's not really Volume 1 because it's completely self-contained, all 5 issues right here. But this is really cool. It jumped around the timeline a lot, but a lot of it is set sort of obviously pre-Winter Soldier, coming back to the folds of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was a good time. And next up on the list, and this one perhaps greatest of them all, It is Loki, Agent of Asgard, Volume 1. This collects the first 6 issues of the new Loki, Agent of Asgard series, which is, if you ever read the old Journey into Mystery books, wow, really? You're just going to throw, what was it? Was it cool at least?
It was the natural.
Do we get to buy something awesome?
It landed gently.
Oh, but no, Loki, Agent of Asgard is hilarious. It's a great ruckus. It's like, it reminds me of Journey into Mystery. It reminds me of Young Avengers. It reminds me of, you know, a bunch of these other sort of like Runaways kind of thing, but better than all of them. So, well, except maybe not the Whedon Runaways. That was pretty good. Anyway, moving right along. Next up on the list of graphic novels I want to talk about, it is Lucifer, Book 4. This is the 4th installment of Mike Carey's spin-off series from the Sandman. I think there's only 2. Well, I think there's only one more. So that makes me kind of sad. But it's a phenomenal series. It goes up amongst my all-time greats. So I would highly recommend that you go out and read it. We have all 4 volumes now in stock. 2 more graphic novels I want to talk about. This one, because it goes in with the vein of what we talked about earlier, is Batman Incorporated Volume 2, New 52, Volume 2, Gotham's Most Wanted. This is the death of Robin. This is the final issues of Batman Incorporated. And this was what many of us thought going to be Grant Morrison's final comic book for DC. Turns out they brought him back because they were like, hey, remember that book that you wanted to write all those years ago? We'll finally let you write it. And he was like, okay, I'll come back to work for you. And the last up on things that we want to talk about, this one was phoned in from Foxy.
Shocking!
Yeah, really. Okay, so this is called The Search for Catbug. I don't know what a catbug is. I don't know what it's about.
Apparently, a weird
It's kind of cute.
chimera of a
it's
cat
from,
and a ladybug.
I know it's from Bravest Warriors.
It's a Foxy book.
It's definitely a Foxy book. It looks pretty cool, though. He's a cat that's also a ladybug. That's why it's called Catbug. The art is pretty sick for it, though.
Hold
I
on.
will tip my hat to Foxy on this one. The art's really cool. I'm sure the story has a story.
Foxy has the mind of a child.
He is a fox. So this book has no words. Oh, this is like Where's Waldo, but it's Where's Catbug.
Oh, you just put that together?
Yeah, I actually did just put that together.
Find
No.
the right catbug.
Nope, because I opened it up to the hardest page where it's all Catbug, and then you got to find the right Catbug. And I don't even know what a Catbug is, and you want me to go looking through pages for it?
I have to poop.
Okay, well, on that very sobering note, we are going to take a cutaway for completely unrelated reasons. And we will be right back with Words of the Show.
Words of the show!
Words of the show.
Welcome back from the cutaway for Words of the Show. And Foxy heard me talking so much smack about Catbug that he just...
You were saying bad things about Catbug?
No. Who would ever do that?
What did you say about Catbug?
He called you an infant?
Me? Or Catbug? Because Catbug is voiced by... infant?
I think it was mind of a child.
Yeah.
What's
Yes,
the-
mind of a child.
He's voiced by a 5-year-old, so...
Well,
As are you, Foxy.
My first question was, what is a Catbug? And then my second question was, what is this book in my hand? And then I realized it was like a Where's Waldo book, but you're looking for Catbug, right?
Yeah.
And then the off-voice camera said that, you know, Foxy had the mind of a child.
Well, I'm glad I showed up for moral support then, guys. Yeah, episode 33, it's the live studio audience, guys. We did it.
No, that was
Applause!
31.
Woo!
I brought it to you early because I care.
You didn't even know that you were walking into the uninspired episode.
Oh, good.
This is
I showed up just in
this
time.
is a completely inspired episode. No, I wasn't really saying anything bad about Catbug. I just knew that you were a big fan of Catbug from the Bravest Warrior thing.
Yeah, Bravest Warriors is a great show. You should watch it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much time. You can watch 2 seasons in like 40 minutes tops.
And I wonder why our youth has ADD.
Yeah,
Catbug?
they're 5-minute episodes. But
2
they're good.
seasons of Catbug?
How much
2
story can you
seasons
possibly get into in 5 minutes?
So much. It's heady, man.
I
They
don't-
get
I don't.
deep. And Jonan Vasquez even wrote and directed an episode too. The Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, Invader Zim.
I don't even know what book you're talking about.
We're talking cartoons right now, but we're going back to Catbug, buddy. Don't worry.
Okay, let's go back to comics so the catfish isn't super confused. Foxy, we talked about Fade Out. We talked about We talked about Multiversity. We talked about Little Nemo. Is there anything that you got a chance to read while we were booking it down here? I was gonna say hightailing it, but then I figured that would be redundant.
I checked out the B.P.R.D. also. I heard you covered that.
Yeah.
It was a good jumping on point. They did good with that. Coming on the heels of the last arc, though. The last arc was my favorite arc of the series so far.
Yeah, I heard the last arc ended on just this horrifically awesome note. So.
It was just phenomenal. James Herron killed it with the art. The story was great. The Black Flame was there. It's everything you want out of B.P.R.D. So it was good for newcomers, but, for someone deep in it, not my favorite issue, but still good.
But, I mean, this is kind of a thing they do, because, like, Plague of Frogs kind of started that way, too, where it was like, meh, and then it, like...
Yeah, it builds up big. Yeah. So, that's cool. I like on-ramps for new readers. And then I also read The Empty Man #3.
Oh, yeah, Colin Bunn.
That book, it's like every issue they change my mind about what's happening. I think it's only 5 issues, or maybe 6.
I think it's 5.
Yeah.
I think it was only 2 more.
So 2 more issues to make me understand what's happening. Good luck, Colin Bunn. The art is amazing,
Look at
though.
that poster. That
What?
poster.
Poster.
That's sitting right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Poster that's sitting right there.
The
Top
poster.
set.
Right over
Poster
there.
right there.
You got it.
That one.
Good
Yep.
job, OBC.
You got it. Anytime now.
Yeah, uninspired episode.
Yeah, hustling it over here.
Well, I
But
had
they're-
to think about whether I was going to tear it in half, and I was like, no, they probably need it for the windows. I was like,
We've got a
the
bunch
same
of
thing
them.
would happen if I put so I could have.
You could have, but you didn't. Ha ha! I win.
God,
But
it's
also, why would you... Brian Hurt, he drew that. It's lovely, and we love him. And
Yeah.
Catfish is falling asleep.
Catfish is fun.
So Foxy's here to tell you about the signing that we have coming up on October 1st. This is us down here. Whoop, whoop. It's a Wednesday. It's a new comic book day, so you'll have my show to wake up with in the morning, and then you'll have new comic books, and then you'll have Brian Hurt to draw you a cool illustration in the afternoon.
And it's, a week after Sixth Gun Volume 7 comes out, so you can get him to sign and do a little drawing in your Sixth Gun Volume 7. Because you'll have read 1 through 6 by then, right? You've already done that, right?
Yeah, totally
that.
did that.
How did you do at the last
I did
Colin
that
Bunn signing, Foxy?
Oh, man, I made so many friends. I misquoted books that Colin Bunn has read. There was a lot of good times.
Yeah, but you had a T-shirt. You were clothed.
Yeah, I mean, I wore a shirt that day.
Oh, allow me.
I get. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you, friend.
I get a lot of mail asking why doesn't Foxy wear any clothes.
Because I don't need to.
Yeah.
When you have a beautiful coat of furs like this.
Yeah. People keep wanting to call it
Yeah, that's right.
mail me shirts to put you in.
I accept children's clothing. Send it my way. I brought a bow tie tonight for the live show, but I see there's no gala. So
I thought it was supposed to be elsewhere.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was supposed to be at your establishment. We were going to your house in the woods.
someday we'll go to my house and do it whenever you plan it at all.
We don't plan this.
Well, not you, Catfish. I'm talking to this guy. He's gonna plan it.
I do my job.
The suit actually do.
Suits don't work,
So
right?
farewell for this week, friends.
And cut.
It's been real.
Real good.
Well,
Glad I could show up for the tail end of this.
me too, Foxy. I'm glad that you did make it.
You took it all apart, Foxy.
Always. That's what I mean.
It wasn't put together to begin with.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Max's Super Awesome Comic Review Show. We will be back next week right here with more great comics to review and possibly some not so good ones too. You never know.
Maybe.
They might slip in there.
Is Harley Quinn coming out next week?
Yeah.
Oh, zing!
Oh, I think so.
Gotcha!
Until next time, stay frosty.
There it is. I'm just gonna sit here. Hello. Hello, Lap Band Bob.
You're done. You're done.
You got.